Hey, it's Brett and Coach here, and we are back with the Drink Illinois Passport. We're going to try to hit up 4 breweries today. And as you can see, we're already at our first one, which is Macushla Brewing. I went with 2 tasters today. First up is a grapefruit lager called G-Love, which comes in at 5%. Usually I think lager and grapefruit aren't my go-to flavors or style of beer. This is actually really nice. I am pleasantly surprised. Good citrus flavor, not super heavy. It's not bitter by any means, but still tastes like a beer. So to say I enjoy this is a huge surprise to me. I would happily drink a full one of this. I would give this a 7.5. Plus, I think that's a really interesting color for a lager. And then for my other taster, this is the Hammer, which is a Scotch ale coming in at 9.75%. I don't think I've ever had a Scotch ale before. I would say it's similar to like a brown ale or even a porter. The first front notes are very much brown ale, but then it does have that dark brown liquor flavor to it as it goes. It doesn't have like the acidic bite of alcohol per se, but it's still like a dense, complex, thick flavor to get through. I could see this being drank similar to an actual Scotch, little sips here and there, not a big whole glass of it, because I feel like that would be a bit much, but I would give this a 7. Interesting to try, but let's move on to our next place. And we are here at Crust Brewing. This is the actual location where we can get our passports stamped, unlike the other location off of Irving Park that we went to. Go check out that video. But I only decided to get one beer, which is a full pour. This is Lights Out Lager, a dark lager coming in at 5.5%. If you put lager into your coffee, or vice versa, this is kind of what you get. Some darker notes with the still, like, simple, watery flavor of lager. Kind of interesting. I don't think I would get another one, so I'd probably give it 5.5. The tap room here is huge and, like, very well styled, especially compared to the other location. Completely different vibes, but let's head to our next place. So we are here at Une Année / Hubbard's Cave. I decided to get a pre-made flight here. This is called the Sweet, Sour, and Hoppy Flight, where you get 1 sour, 1 IPA, and 1 stout. So we're going to start out with the sour, which is the Framboise, coming in at 8%, which this is a Raspberry Wild Ale. Sour is correct. Gets the spit glands going. The main note is just sour. There's a little bit of fruitiness at the end. There's a little bit of that framboise funk to it that I like. Beautiful bright red color as well. It's almost hard to taste on your first sip just because the sour is so shocking. Purely sour with the smallest hint of fruit. I'd give that an 8. I like this sort of thing. If you aren't super big on sours or anything sour candy, anything like that, maybe steer clear of it. But if that is your sort of thing, definitely worth it. So for the hoppy beer for this flight, this is Fresh 1 Hop Citra coming in at 8.5%. Yeah, smells hoppy and bitter. Very hazy. You can't see through it at all. I expected it more dank and bitter. It is slightly piney, but for saying one's a sour, one's a hoppy beer, yeah, that's exactly what it is. A very hoppy forward IPA. A little bit of citrus notes, but not too much, but very direct as a beer. So with that all being said, I would probably give this a 6.5. And then for the sweetness, this is Coffee and Cakes, which is an imperial stout coming in at 12%, which has coffee and maple syrup. So if the other two held true to their names in the flight, let's hope this one is on the sweet side. Getting that coffee very forward, not much the maple syrup. It isn't the sweetest stout I've ever had, but definitely does have a nice little sweetness towards the end. Balances out with the bitter, dark roastiness of the coffee. These as a trio all make sense. It really tells you what the brewery is about. I enjoy this. I'd probably give this a 7. So I am going to enjoy the patio since the weather went from rainy to very humid and sunny. Enjoy my 3 flight here. And then we're going to head to one more brewery. And we made it here to our last spot, which is Alarmist Brewing. We are out on their back patio beer garden. We decided to get 3 tasters to wrap up. First up is a lime lager called Chupalagra, which is coming in at 5%. Not a huge lime scent on it, but a little hint of something there. The dog certainly has a lot to say about it. It's fine, very light lime scent. I think it's more bitter lime rind than the actual lime juice flavor. The actual lager taste doesn't really do anything for me. Probably give it a 4. This is Le Juice Clear, which is a clear hazy IPA coming in at 6%. And the description online boasts it is the world's first clear hazy IPA. Interesting if that's true, but let's get into it. It's pretty inoffensive. It's not overly bitter. It's not overly hoppy. I think it's interesting and kind of fun that they made a hazy IPA clear, and I'd be interested to see how they actually managed to do that. Otherwise, I feel like it's a little bit run-of-the-mill IPA. I'd give it a 5.5. It's drinkable, nice for a patio, but not too much more than that. And for my final taster here is Dream Juice, which is a riff on Le Juice, the base of Le Juice Clear, which is Dream Juice, which features vanilla and orange. So it's kind of a dreamsicle situation. I get the dreamsicle scent on it. It is still very IPA forward when it comes to scent, but it does have that subtle dreamsicle undertone to it. Smash. That's actually really good. For an IPA, I think the orange and the cream comes through very well. It is a nice balance to the bitterness of the IPA hoppiness. The orange and vanilla is very upfront, and then it slowly fades into the bitterness, so I'm glad it develops on the palate. I'd probably give this an 8. I really appreciate it. It is nostalgic in a way, but still a beer. This beer redeemed my perception of Alarmist. I've been here once before, about a year or 2 ago, and I wasn't super impressed, but this is definitely the best beer I've had from them. So that is a great way to end the day, especially for Alarmist. So being here at Alarmist takes us to 63 stickers in our passport. And with that, I am going to wrap up this video here, where I did go to 4 different breweries for the Drink Illinois passport. If you like this video, like always, give me a like, comment down below, as well as hit the subscribe button. And I will see you next time in Coach.